highway, chasing the sun. Larry's at the wheel, got the engine on the run. Songs, he's got the playlist, singing it out loud. Another open road, another brand new town. From the mountains high to the oceans deep, they're living the dream, they ain't losing sleep. With a glass bar full and a tank of gas, they ain't slowing down, they ain't looking back. They fly through the skies, chasing the breeze. Roll down the road, feeling so free. Ride the waves where the sunsets go. Forever Huffs living, wherever they go. Cruising down the coastline, drinking their hands, dancing on the deck to a steel drum band. Larry's cracking jokes, making new best friends. Saucy snapping pictures, cause the fun won't end. From the northern lights to the streets of Rome, everywhere they go they make it their home. With the world so big and their hearts so wide, they'll keep on moving till the end of the ride. They fly through the skies, chasing the breeze. Roll down the road, feeling so free. Ride the waves where the sunsets go. Forever Huffs living, wherever they go. No map, no plan, just a ticket in hand. They'll follow the stars and the golden sand. Every new town, another great story, living this life in all of its glory. They fly through the skies, chasing the breeze. Roll down the road, feeling so free. Ride the waves where the sunsets go. Forever Huffs living, wherever they go. So if you see them on by, give them a wave. They're chasing adventure, they're feeling brave. Larry and Saucy, hearts open wide. Forever Huffs living, enjoying the ride.
What about now? I'm trying to remember where you go to set all that stuff up. Let me see. Settings, audio, microphone USB, stereo mix, communication micro USB. Check. How about now? That looks like that's working now. What about now? Yay, it's fixed. Georgia says, yay, it's fixed. Can everybody else hear me now? That was my fault. Actually, all right, y'all give me, okay, Georgie says it's fixed. Somebody else. Paul.
She said
Sweet
yes,
Yankee Bell. Becky says now. Okay. We're still good, right? All right. Okay, so when you guys said you couldn't hear anything, I was explaining at that point that my desk microphone kind of crapped out on me. So I got rid of it. I have not bought another one yet. So now I'm having to use the microphone that's in the camera. I was literally explaining that when somebody, I think it was Georgie, popped up and said, can't hear anything. Somebody did. So that's my fault. I got rid of the desk mic and now we're using, the built-in mic. And I didn't have it set properly, I guess.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Glad y'all can hear us now.
We said one at a time, but now.
Yeah, we did say hello to each one of you, when you couldn't hear us. But now that you can hear us, we got Becky, we got Paul, we got Sweet Yankee Bell. Bum, bum, bum. I think
still shouldn't do that.
I think that would be a good time instead of Sweet Carolina.
Okay.
Sweet Yankee Bell. Bum, bum, bum. Good times never seem so good. Okay. Let's see. I said Paul, Georgie. We got Georgie in there. I don't know who else. About 7 of you. Hey, if y'all don't mind, hit the like button. And as our new thing is, if someone sends a super chat, you get to see my ding-a-ling. That's the way it works. Hey, true statement. So if y'all want to check that out, you send a super chat and see what you find out. I'm going to personally show you my ding-a-ling. So I was talking about Mama Coop. Mama Coop's been making some coasters, and that was yesterday for one of her teacher friends. Boy, they were looking nice. Sweet Yankee Bell's blushing. I don't know if she's blushing at my singing or the thought of seeing my ding-a-ling. I might write a whole song for Sweet Yankee Bell. Sweet Yankee Bell. Bum, bum, bum. Never seemed so good. She made a clock. Was actually, she's not put the clock in it yet, but she made the little, I don't even know what to call it, clock holder. It just looked just as neat as it could be. So I'm looking forward to seeing a clock mounted in it. And Mama Coop hit her 1,000 subscribers. And she's almost up. I see the super chat. Georgie, you little pervert. I should have known it was going to be you that wanted to see my ding-a-ling. Oh, Becky, you're the teacher friend. I got you. All right, Georgie. That's awful cheap for $2, but there's my ding-a-ling.
I need that bell.
Why you need to? Oh, no. You got another one in there you can use. So Georgie was the first one to see my ding-a-ling. Oh, thank you, Georgie. That was fun. Man, the coffee's good.
Yeah, I'm looking for something.
Oh, yeah. She did go there. I should have placed a bet on who was going to be the first one to fall for that and pay money to see my ding-a-ling. So that's going into the cruise funds. Yeah, I need a whole lot more than $2 to cover her cruise funds. Every time I turn around, we're going on a cruise. Hey, Miss Max, I must have missed it there. Dennis the Menace. There's Mama Coop. Mama Coop, I was just bragging on your work. The teacher's coasters you was doing and the clock thing. Man, I like that clock thing. That's pretty cool.
It's gonna be fun, Georgie.
Georgie, we're gonna have a good time. We have a good time every time we go. All right. We're going to talk a little bit about cruising tonight, but we just want to carry on a little conversation with you folks for a little bit before we move into a topic. So yeah, I was saying that Mama Coop, you got your 1,000 subscribers now. That was, I know it seemed like it took a long time, but look, it took us a really long time to get to 1,000 subscribers, and would not have gotten there without the help of all of you folks. Georgie really went out of her way to help push to get us to 1,000 subscribers, and we appreciate that. So you actually did it pretty quick. Yeah, that's what Becky said, that it was for her, that she was the teacher friend. Well, I'm sure she's really going to like those coasters. That was just a neat idea. You had the crayons in there. You had the ABC stuff, which spelled Becky. I saw that. Put a little glitter in there. That was pretty neat. I'm sure she's going to really like those. Halloween clock. I couldn't remember the theme of the clock. I remember the shape of it, and I'm assuming you already have a clock that you're going to mount into it. Is that correct? I mean, you had to know what size to make the mold and the hole and all that. Becky is your BFF. Best friend forever or best forever friend?
Best friend forever.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I like the Halloween clock. So Becky, I don't know if Becky's still in here. What does Becky teach? What grade and what? Well, I guess you don't get class specific until they get a little older. Like, if you're teaching kindergarten, you teach them everything. First grade, second grade. I guess it doesn't really start splitting up till about 5th or 6th grade. They start going to different teachers for different subjects. Huh?
It's been a long time since I've been.
I know, it's been a minute since we've been there.
And then different schools do different, so.
Yeah. So I guess if Becky's at the early stages, she might be teaching a little bit of everything. But if she's at the junior high school level, probably teaching one particular subject. So I'm curious to know what Miss Becky is teaching. Mama Coop said, whatever I want to call it. You talking about your coasters or your clock or my ding-a-ling? Teach your preschool students with autism. Wow. So you're teaching everything with a twist. I don't fully understand autism. I mean, I kind of know. I mean, there's some that have it very. I see you say 2, 3, and 4-year-olds all nonverbal. So they have, autism is a spectrum. Some of it have just a little bit of it. Some of it have it incredible, kind of where you're at. If they're nonverbal, then that's they got a good dose of it. Well, look, all the respect in the world to you, Miss Becky. I don't know that I could do that. Oh, BFF. I don't know that I have the patience for it. I wouldn't be mean by any means, but I just don't know if I have the patience for it. I I don't know. I guess I would if that's what I chose to do. I would do all right.
Well, it takes a special person to be able to
Yeah.
have the patience.
Yeah, to have the
to
patience
work with.
and to make progress with it. You know, it's one thing to have patience, but then you got to know what you're doing enough to have progress. Have you got a I'm sure you've got several success stories, but what is your best success story you could share with us of one of your students? Maybe you have one that's nonverbal and by the end of the year they were saying a word or two. You know, maybe.
Tiny is
What's your best
Tiny
success
is
story?
nonverbal. Georgie says.
Tiny, is that one of your children, Georgie? I'm not sure. I've got to turn this on. Two children. Okay, so Becky, you have two children. They're adults, but so you have two adult children that have autism. All right, true angels are our tiny superheroes. Hey, look, I can't say enough about what you're
Tiny is
doing
her
and
youngest.
the impact you're making. I know you're impacting those kids. Okay, Tiny's your youngest. All right, I didn't know that, Jordan. So I'm learning. My wife says I'm special, and she don't mean it in a good way.
Hey, Harry.
Hey, Harry, what's happening, man? I'm glad you joined us. Look, we got quite a few people in here watching tonight. We've missed you guys just as much as y'all have missed us. We met people on our cruise. We made friends on our cruise. We invited them to follow our channel. Who knows? Maybe one of them will stop in here this evening. And if you do, hey, say something to us in the chat. Oh, I can hear his mom said now. Oh, so you got one student was not talking at all, and now he won't shut. So he didn't just learn a word or two. When he started talking,
So that's what Kathy said.
Yeah, we got a sister-in-law that she does not teach that specifically, but she had one in her class. She teaches what, third grade maybe?
No.
First grade? First grade. And she had one that was nonverbal, and she kept working with him, and same thing. He started talking. I don't know if he's a chatterbox, but he became verbal. He started saying some words and started talking. So she's really, I'm not going to say proud. She's happy that she was able to help that child. But that's good, though. I mean, that's got to make you feel good to know that you helped make that happen. And I'm sure the parents, kid about him not shutting up, but I bet they're happy. I bet they're thankful for you and what you did with their child, helping him to get started talking. There's Miss PJ. I've got more videos coming from our trip to Alaska and I haven't done any. I'm trying to think what I put one out there on. What was it? Oh, the train ride. Train ride was just one little piece of it. We've got a lot of video, and I'm going to be dropping some more videos. We came home. We've been home a week. Well,
tonight will be a week.
Yeah, we got home about 1 o'clock in the morning, traveled all day and part of the night. And then our family started showing up the next day. And we had a family weekend here. We had about 20 people here. They left Monday morning. They all left. What's the day? It's Thursday. It's Thursday. That's right. So we've had a couple of days. The last couple of days, we kind of cleaned up around here, cutting grass, catching up on all the things we needed to do. And now we're moving right into another phase, which is somebody's having surgery Monday. nothing life threatening. But anyhow, we got to get to our camp this weekend. We got to get the grass cut there and get it straightened out. Be back by Monday for her surgery, and then we're going to have to deal with that for a few days. All that to say this: I've got more videos. It's just going to be a little while before I get them out. But y'all be watching for them. Look, Alaska is my new favorite state. Just absolutely beautiful. It's breathtaking. We had been told by a number of people over the years that we needed to do an Alaskan cruise. You got to do an Alaskan cruise. It's this and it's that. And, you know, well, we've done it. And I've got to say they were
We're
correct.
going to do another one.
We're probably going to do another one. Yeah. Because
On a different ship. I didn't particularly care for that
one
ship.
is not enough time to really, you know, see it all and soak it all in. So we'll probably do another one in a year or so if our health hangs up. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. That's a Southern thing. Somebody asked you, "Are you gonna have the good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise?" We'll do it. So, we went to some hot springs up there outside of Fairbanks. Is it north of Fairbanks? I don't know. Chena Hot Springs. It's crazy to be up in the middle of Alaska, in the middle of cold country, and there's some hot springs there. Now, we have been there before. We were up in that area about 10 years
Thank you,
ago.
Paul.
And yeah, thank y'all for the prayers. About 10 years ago, we were up in that area, and we went to the Chena Hot Springs.
I don't
And
recall them being that hot.
thank you, Yankee
Thank you,
Bill.
Yankee Bill.
So we went back, and they were hot. There were some areas because it's like a big pool, sort of.
Thank you, Miss PJ.
And there was some hot spots, and I couldn't even.
He couldn't
walk.
get them. It felt good.
Yeah, it was pretty hot. And then when we got out of the hot springs, they actually had an ice house right next door.
One extreme to the other.
Yeah, it was 25 degrees in there. Everything in there is made out of ice. They had a bar in there with bar stools. The bar stools were made out of ice. The bar was made out of ice. They had like martini glasses carved out of ice, and they would serve you a drink in that souvenir glass you could take with you.
Yeah, souvenir glass. I got to keep it.
You can keep it. Of course, it's going to melt, but you can keep it. But we went in the ice house and did that, and you know they had a bunch of
Apple
sculptures
teeny,
and
that's
stuff,
what it
and
was.
you know they charged whatever it was, but an apple teeny was included in the
20.
price, and so somebody had an apple teeny. But the deal is, you take the ice glass out with you outside, and you smash it on the concrete outside.
So
But anyhow, we got video of all that stuff and pictures, and we're going to share that. That's coming. All right, Yankee Bell, where were they stationed? Army, Air Force, what rank? Our son is in the Air Force. He actually lives in North Pole, the loofah bar. No, we didn't find a loofah bar. We looked, but couldn't find one. With a shoestring, they said, cool. So he was in the Army. What's the name of that base right there outside of Fairbanks? Wainwright. There's the Army base right outside of Fairbanks. I think they have another one down in the southern part of the country, or the state. But we were right near Wainwright. I don't know if that's where he was at or not. Our son is at Eielson Air Force Base, which is just a few miles from Wainwright. We do like the villages, and we're going to talk about the villages in a little while. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the villages. I forgot what I was speaking to say. We do like the villages.
So yes, I guess he was at Wainwright.
Okay, yeah, Wainwright. That's actually That's one of the few places where the Army base is nicer than the Air Force base.
That's where the hospital is.
That's unusual. Yeah.
Air Force has to go there for the hospital.
So we did go to Wainwright to the Army base the last time we were there, and looked around and went and ate some lunch and all that stuff. I was an Army guy, so I enjoyed going to the Army base. But while we were up there with our son and daughter-in-law and grandkids, man, look, them grandkids, man. I get up early, and they got a two-story house. The bedrooms are all up on the second floor. Well, I get up early before anybody else, and I'm sitting downstairs having coffee. Well, my little 2-year-old grandson, he figured that out. So it got to where he knew when he got up that Papa was downstairs, and he would start yelling for me at the top of the stairs, coming down the stairs. So, you just can't replace those kind of memories. We enjoyed spending time with the grandkids.
Whiteman's in Missouri.
I have not been to Whiteman's in Missouri. They had their baby girl there, so she was born in Alaska. Man, I love Alaska. That took some getting used to because we probably had 21 hours of sunlight and about 3 hours of darkness, and
it wasn't even dark.
It wasn't always completely dark. It was kind of like dusk. It wasn't all the way dark, but it was sort of dark. Hey, Mr. Coop, what's happening? Yeah, from about 1 o'clock in the morning till about 3 o'clock in the morning, the sun was below the horizon, but you were still getting some light off of it, and then it started back up again. So that was different. But they got a college up there
Well, wait a minute. Let's find out what's Whiteman's in Missouri.
I don't know what Whiteman's is in Missouri, unless it's an Army base or something. I've never heard of it. Yep, they are forever. For me, the grandkid probably won't remember it, but I'll always remember it. That was in the Army station in Germany. I've been to Germany, and it was beautiful over there. All right, Georgie, we'll see you in just a minute. Georgie's got bragging rights. She saw my ding-a-ling. City by the Bay. I see that. God bless you folks. Thank you so much. City by the Bay. We're glad you're in here and joining the chat. Our little chat time is about anything. Nothing's off limits. We'll talk about whatever. We're just going to respect each other and keep it clean. We have a clean channel. I didn't spend much time in Germany when I was deployed overseas. They sent me to Germany for a couple of weeks, and Sansi met me over there, and we got to spend 2 or 3 weeks in Germany.
Air Force bases. Oh, that's where you were born. Okay.
It was just beautiful. I love Germany.
I don't guess I've ever heard of Whiteman's Air Force Base.
Mm-hmm. I was Army, so I don't know all the Army bases, much less all the Air Force bases. So you were, let's see, Whiteman Air Force Base. Oh, Mr. Coop said that. You were an Army brat. What was your favorite place to live? If you were an Army brat. So Army brats don't seem to have a place that they call a hometown. They bounce around all over the place because their parents get moved. But I usually ask, somebody like that, what was your favorite place to live? Cody in the Bay. I see City by the Bay. So back to our trip. Let me think. We went up there, and look, my son's got an electric car. It's a Hyundai Kona. It's a little SUV. And he since bought him he used that while he was in Italy, but they still have it. And he since bought him a 4-wheel drive truck, which is what he needs in that environment up there. But, it wasn't any snow or anything while we were there. So I told him to have that car charged up. So we used the electric car, and I liked it. It was nice to not have to buy gas. That's okay, Miss PJ. We knew what you meant. So we did use his car, and we went and did things. He took,
Whew.
I don't know, like the first week off we were there, and then he went back to work. His wife works a lot, so we had time where we could just go. But we did the hot springs. My son and I went fishing, tried to catch some trout while we were there, and didn't catch anything, but that didn't matter. I just wanted to go fishing in Alaska. Well, if you moved away from there when you were 2, then you don't have a memory of it.
And not at all.
You don't have a favorite memory, do you? What else did we do while we was up there? We went.
Rode the train.
Oh yeah, we rode the train. That's the video we dropped. That was from Fairbanks to Denali and back. Now it was a 4-hour ride through some of the most beautiful landscape I've ever seen. It was just incredible. And they had, the car we was in had a window, a glass area up top. We spent a lot of time up there. I know most of you have probably watched our video, and we appreciate it. If you haven't, go to our channel and take a look at that video. But we did the 4 hours down, 4 hours back. We had about 4 hours there. That was a 12-hour day. We left at 8 o'clock in the morning. We got back about 8:30 that evening, 9 o'clock, somewhere in there. At 9 o'clock, we were walking across the parking lot in our car, and it was still just bright daylight. We still had 3 or 4 more hours of daylight. But so we were at North Pole, which is not the North Pole, but the little town is named North Pole. And just as you would suspect, it's all about Santa Claus and all that. So we went to the Santa Claus house and saw that. We saw his reindeer. We did those things. We didn't get to see a moose or anything this time. I was disappointed. We have seen a moose up there before. Sweet Yankee Bell says her daughter-in-law's at El Paso, Army base area. His son is in Romania. Wow. That part of the world is very pretty too, where Romania, all that Russian area over there. That's pretty. I've been through there. I've been to a couple of places over there. I don't know. I guess I look for I think a lot of places are pretty. I'll go somewhere and say, man, this place is pretty. It's beautiful. I like it. But overall, Alaska has been my favorite. I've heard that about the mosquitoes. We've been there twice. We've spent, 2.5 weeks this time. We were up there for about 2.5 weeks the first time.
But it was the same time of the year.
Same time of the year. Both times we went about the same time of the year. And I did not see the big mosquitoes.
Well,
I saw a mosquito or 2, but they look like regular mosquitoes to me.
But Austin did say something about
I've heard a lot about the mosquitoes up there. But we personally didn't see them. So darn the luck, right? Maybe we need to go a different time of year so we can experience those big mosquitoes.
Okay.
They've got about 2 more years up there, so we will probably make one more trip. But
I want to go to Anchorage.
Yeah, the next one will probably be our last trip up there. So it's going to be, we're going to fly into Anchorage, and then we're going to take an 8-hour train up to Fairbanks. And there will be a hunting trip involved. I'm going to kill something.
And the cruise.
Yeah, we might, incorporate
cruise
with
hunting,
it.
Yeah.
Egg Bell, Black Hawk mechanic. I like that. I'm somewhat familiar with a Black Hawk. That's cool. That's a good job. And if he gets his civilian, basically, license for that, he'll be able to use that skill outside the military. Yep, work on a helicopter. Could make that his career. Sure could. So we went on, we'll kind of move on to some other stuff now. Unless y'all have something you want to talk about. Got something you want to talk about, just throw it in the comments. We'll sure talk about it. But we went on a cruise, I don't know, about a month ago. Okay,
It's in July.
Y'all know we cruise a lot. And we've always cruised Carnival. Well, Carnival has decided that they're going to make some drastic changes to their rewards program. If you haven't cruised, let me just go ahead and kind of explain. Most cruise lines have some type of rewards program or rewards program, loyalty program, whatever you want to call it. And they have it set up like Carnival, the first so many days, then you're in this category. And then after so many cruise days, you move into the next category. And it's, let's see, you had the first cruise, you're blue. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Blue means that's what color your sailing sign card
yeah,
is.
they give you a sailing sign card, and each one, they're different colors, and each color represents a level in their rewards program. So you got blue for your first cruise, and then after that you have red, and you keep red until you have, is it 25 sail days? Okay, so you're red until 25 sail days, and then you get gold. And you have a gold card once, and it goes from 26 through 75.
Actually, it's 25
25
to
through
74.
74, yeah. And then after that, after 74 days, you stay platinum. Yeah. So, yeah, after 74 days, you become platinum. You stay platinum. You stay platinum. You stay platinum until 200 sail days. And at 200 sail days, you reach their top tier, which is diamond. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Now, do you get much far? No, you really don't. You get, as the levels go up, they'll give you a little perk, which is not much. But, they set the rules, and everybody, like to get that next card and get the little perk that goes with that level and all that. So now, if you think about it, to get to their diamond status, which is 200 sail days, you're looking at 5 to 7 days per cruise. So to get to 200, it's quite a few cruises, 40, in the neighborhood of 40 cruises, somewhere in there, depending on how many 7 days, how many 5 days. And for that, you get, once you get diamond, they have perks like you get one of the diamonds are some of the first ones they let on the ship when you go to take a cruise. You get priority to get off the ship at the end of the cruise. You get,
that's what I like.
They'll do your laundry for you. You get,
diamond gets unlimited.
Is it unlimited? Yeah. Platinum gets like 2 bags a cruise or something. It's just a little brown paper bag. You can put a handful of things in. But once you reach their top tier, then you have unlimited laundry, which we use it a little bit, but not a lot. They'll have a little party, and give you a free drink or two. Thank you for your loyalty. So it's not a big deal. But it is a little something.
You get a prize.
And, they'll usually give you some kind of little gift or something. But anyway, now you're talking in the neighborhood of 40 cruises at a minimum $2,000 per cruise. So you could easily say you drop 80 grand to get to that level, to get those few little things, which is nothing. And then all of a sudden, Carnival said, no, we're not going to do that anymore. They're just redoing the whole thing. And we knew they were going to do something, but we assumed they were going to add another level, starting at 400 sail days or 300 or something. But they yanked the whole thing. They're like, so they're coming out with one that's basically based on money. Someone could come in and get a suite, which is the most expensive, book an excursion at every port, buy the drink package, buy the internet package, and in that one cruise, spend enough money that they would be at the top tier in one cruise. Then you got the guy sitting next to them that's been cruising for 20 years with Carnival, worked his way up, the deal, and he's like, yeah, you're you're at the bottom level. So it's not what they're taking away. It's just how am I trying to say it? It's not the monetary value. It's the principle of the thing. That's right. A lot of people cruise for years and they work their way up that ladder and they enjoy the little perks, and they like their special color card, and now after all of that, Carnival said, doesn't matter, we're getting rid of that program. They're keeping a rewards program, but it's all about money. You can spend enough money on one cruise to make the top level. And the other thing they're doing is it's good for 2 years. If you don't continually spend that much money, you start over. So anyway,
but you also can spend money on their credit card.
Yeah.
And get the points. So
yeah. We interviewed a lot of people on the cruises, and we put a few videos out there of those interviews. And oh my goodness, they got a lot of views, a lot of comments, a lot of opinions. The people that are higher up on the totem pole are mad about it. The people that are just starting to cruise, they're calling the older ones that are up on the tier, y'all just whining. I personally didn't matter if you had a positive or negative comment. I just wanted to comment. Y'all know how the algorithm works. You get a lot of participation in comments, and it gets a lot of views. So we got lots of views. So there may be some people here tonight that we got a lot of subscribers off of it also. So there may be some people in here tonight that came to our channel because of those videos. And if you are here and you want to say something, what you think about it, then hey, bring it on. Positive or negative, I really don't care. Here's the way I explain where we're at with it. We have always cruised Carnival. We like the idea of marching up the ladder, and we are at the top tier. We've been at the top tier for a while. So they asked me to be loyal, and they gave me a few little perks because I was loyal. So now they're yanking that away. Well, guess what? I'm not loyal to Carnival anymore. So now when we get ready to book a cruise, I'm going to look at all the cruise lines. I might go with Carnival, and I might go with somebody else. Whatever. We've been kind of looking at MSC. A lot of the people we talked to said they're going to switch to MSC. And we've been looking at, MSC would, for a good while, they would status match. If you were,
they're still status matching.
Right, but they were status matching equal. If you were diamond on Carnival, if you came over to MSC, they would make you diamond on MSC. Well, there were so many people that was doing that, I think they decided to adjust it a little bit. So now if you're...
We matched almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's 3 years ago when they changed it, not now. When we went to match with them, they were no longer doing it level for level. They brought us in on their next to the top tier. They didn't give us their top tier. They give us is it gold? They go gold and then platinum over there. Now, since we did it, they have added a platinum plus, which is another, tier. That's their highest tier. Their system is each cruise line has a different system. Theirs is a point system. We're trying to figure it out. You book cruises differently. They have different tiers of rooms that you can, or packages, and different packages get you different points and all that. We pretty well figured out it's going to be about the same money and about the same perks.
You talking about MSC? They have perks without having the points. It depends on what room you book. So.
Yeah, if you book a certain type room, a certain floor, then you get some perks even without points. But yeah, it's a little bit more confusing, but someone that cruises MSC a lot, they probably know it pretty well, and we'll figure it out. But it's similar to Carnival, and you won't lose it. You know, Carnival's fixing theirs up where it's every 2 years. If
You
don't-
do lose it if you don't cruise within 5 years.
Yeah. Every 5 years you have to do a cruise with them. Where Carnival, every 2 years you're going to start the point system over again, whether you've been cruising or not. Where MSC, you once you have a status, you have that status for 5 years, even if you don't cruise. You have to cruise once every 5 years to maintain it. You don't have to accrue the points again. Once the points are there, they're there. So I like that. So we might be joining the bailing on Carnival and going to MSC. Now, MSC, we did one cruise with them and I learned a little bit. MSC stands for Mediterranean Shipping Company. So they are a big shipping company with ships, and
Their ships are paid for.
yeah, the cruise line
That's what I
is just
understand.
a small fraction of their company, what they do. Carnival reminds me of a business. You know, usually the person or people or couple or whatever that start a business, they work hard and they have a focus and they have a vision, and they build it and they build it and they build it, and you know, then most of the time they'll hand it over to children, and the children for the most part will keep it going and keep building on it. But by the time the grandchildren get their hand on it, you know, they're spoiled little brats and they're all about money, and they take away all the, you know, all the fundamental foundations that the original one started with. They throw all that out the window and they just ruin the company. That's what I'm thinking about Carnival right now. It's you know, it's 3 or 4 generations into it, and now they've lost sight of the vision of the original guy that started it. Okay, enough about cruising. If y'all have a question about cruising or cruise lines, throw it out there right now. If not, we're going to move on to something else. What else you want to talk about? Santi wants to talk to y'all about something. She said Carnival's beat. Are you, y'all? She's sitting here booking a cruise.
I hadn't booked it yet.
You looking at it? She's looking at a 14-day Caribbean cruise on her little laptop. Let me show you.
No,
let me-
that's
let
my
me-
free cruise.
There's a freak there. Ain't nothing. I'm just gonna show them what you looking at. Look, y'all. She's looking at cruises with her laptop. I know y'all can't see it below the camera, but I'm telling you, right there. No wonder she's not. I know she got quiet, wasn't saying anything. I'm like, what the
My
heck?
graduation cruise.
She's over here booking a cruise. I'm gonna have to get a job.
Well, look what month's it in. You gonna go in?
In December? Oh no, that's hunting season.
I just was looking. I'm telling you, wasn't booking. Yeah.
All right, so Sweet Yankee Bear said there being many stinky poo butt heads. They sure are. And that's a reference to Elf, I think. Did they say stuff like that? I think that's what that is.
Could be.
Yeah, if any of y'all are hiring, looks like I'm gonna have to get a job, pay for all these cruises.
Oh, here you go. There's a 27
Oh, for
there.
Pete's sake.
It's sold out anyway.
So along the lines of, you know, I was talking about Carnival has gone through a few generations now, and it's not the same family that has it. You know, there's one guy started it, and he had a vision, but he's been deceased for a good while now, and you know, now it's a big
I
corporate
don't have
thing.
anything for you.
You know, I think they've lost sight of the vision he had and what he wanted. That segues right into the villages. I'm going to get on the villages, and if anybody from the villages is watching, hold your breath. You might not like what I have to say. I think the villages has done the same thing. So the villages is a 55 plus community that's over in Florida. Started out with one little area. They had mobile homes, manufactured homes, whatever you want to call them. And the guy that started it, that's where he started it. He wanted it to be like just this premier, cut above anything else that was out there, 55 plus community. And then he brought his kids in on it. They really expanded on it.
You got to get down.
I think one of the sons come up with the idea of
You got to get down. Get in.
free golf
You
for
already
life
have your
or something.
food.
And that when he did that, it really exploded. But it's beautiful over there. It's beautiful and it's a lot to do. And hey, did Darren Moose send his people over? Conservative Colt. I've talked with Darren Muth a couple of times. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right. Darren Muth. Anyway, I've talked to him a couple of times, and we have talked about doing something together. We just haven't managed to. We haven't managed to make that happen yet. Stream is going good. We're streaming YouTube, and I just went blank. Yeah, the other one. One of these days, I'm going to get with Darren Muth, and we're going to do something together. I think we can make something. He's got a younger crowd. And they talk about gaming and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not that. I'm a Pong guy. I could play Pong. I played Pong back in the day. Did you play Pong?
What is that?
That's the first little video game. It had the dot that would go across, and you had a little.
I played it. I couldn't do. I wasn't very good at it. So.
Yeah, I played Pong. So that's about the extent of my video game knowledge. I played Miss Pac-Man a little bit.
I like Centipede. That's about the one I could figure it out.
Centipede's a good one. Yeah, I remember that game.
That's all I could figure out.
Anyway, back to the villages. Talking about the villages. That thing now is 30 miles long. It's got a couple 100,000 people. It's huge. They got 40 something golf courses. You just have to see it and experience it. But we talked about buying a second home over there, and we might. We're still kind of weighing it. But here's what they got. When you buy a house there, it comes with a bond, and the bond is usually $25,000 to $30,000, which you have to basically add on to the price of the house. And that bond money is used to finance this whole big circus going on over there. On top of that, you pay right at $200 a month HOA fees, which helps, fund the lifestyle. Now, when I say lifestyle, I mean they've got probably 3,000 clubs there. If you're into something, there's a club there doing it. There's a community center in pretty much every neighborhood. That community center has activities going on all day. What we call a neighborhood, they call a village. So if you think about when you're talking about the villages, each one has a different name, a different theme, and each one has its own community center. Each village has its own swimming pool. Actually, 2 swimming pools. One that's a family pool and one is adults only. 40 something golf courses. They got a polo club. I mean, they got it all. If you're retired and you want something to do, that's the place to be. They've got 3 different centers that have outdoor stages, has a band playing every
yes,
afternoon.
They are, Paul.
every afternoon from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock. There's a band playing in each one of those three centers. That's free to do. You take your chair and go hang out. So they had a good idea, and it's worked. There's plenty of people there, and people are willing to spend the money. But I'm looking at the houses they're building, and the prices are dropping right now. We were there about 3 months ago. It's been that long. And the prices we were looking at then compared to the prices now, they're probably down 10% in 3 months. So prices are falling a little bit, but they're still high. When we were there, a house would cost you about $250 a square foot. Now, to put that in perspective, I can buy a house here in most parts of the country, a nice house with, granite countertops, upgraded light fixtures, not the El Cheapo stuff, stainless steel appliances, all the good stuff. You can get one usually in the neighborhood of $150, $160 a square foot. Over there, most of the homes have Formica countertops, cheap carpet, cheap appliances, the little rack system in the closet, little cheap rack system. It's like they built it. I told her when I walked in, when it reminded me of one of my rent houses. We had quite a few rent houses at one time. We kind of got out of that business. We got one left. But when I had to redo a rent house, I put the cheapest stove I could buy, the cheapest refrigerator, the cheapest light fixtures I could get, the cheapest door. You put the cheapest thing in there because it's a rent house. So,
because they're going to tear it up.
Yeah, they're probably going to tear it up anyway. So I know the cheap stuff when I see it. And when I walked in those houses, that's what I saw. Now, the new area they're building now, they have stepped it up a little bit, but not a lot. So not only are they charging $100 more a square foot for a house, they're charging $100 more a square foot for a cheap built house. Then you've got the bond on top of that, and then you've got the monthly HOA. So it's like they're trying to make money on every angle. I know they got to have money to keep this thing going, but I'm having trouble getting past what they're charging for the house. Sell me the house for a true value of the house, and then I'll pay the bond. I understand the bond is to help keep this ball rolling, and I'll pay the HOA. Look, $195 a month is nothing for what you get out there. Well worth that for all the things that are available to you and all that they do for you out there. If you're a golfer, you can play golf every day, and you won't do that anywhere else for $195. So you have a lot of other things. So some good things going on there. City by the Bay. Do you think people were happy before smartphones and social media? It's a good question. I'm gonna come back to that in a minute. Right here. So I'm having a little trouble getting past all of the money they're asking for. There again, I'll put it that way. If they would charge me a fair price for the house, not try to gouge me there, I don't mind spending the bond and the HOA for all the things we're getting. But I don't want to give you all three. If you're gonna really rake me over the coals on the house, then don't charge me a bond on top of that. There again, I have no problem with the HOA. They have their HOA set up where it increases with cost of living. If cost of living is 3% in a given year, then that's how much it goes up. So they don't just willy-nilly say we're going up X amount. So you don't have to worry about them just hitting you really hard on it. They've got it set to where it moves with the cost of living that the government puts out every year. So anyhow, The other thing, I'll tell another story. When when we made one of our moves years ago, we bought a house on a golf course. It was a nice house, nice 2-story house on a golf course, swimming pool in the backyard. It was nice. Several years later, the golf course and the family and company that had the golf course, they kind of overextended themselves, got in a bind, ended up filing for bankruptcy. The golf course went under, and that's been 20 years ago. Probably about 20 years ago. That golf course has never reopened. Now, some of the residents there, they tried to keep some of the greens cut and all that, but now I'm not even sure if they're doing that. But it changed the whole dynamic. The values of the properties went down because it's no longer a golf course neighborhood. It changed the whole thing. So I had to deal with that, and I've seen that happen. And I think about the villages. The bottom line, the villages and everything over there is a business, and that business can go under. And if it goes under and all that goes away, then all of those people that paid them high price for them houses, they're going to be left sitting there holding the bag. That's one thing I think about. In recent months, they announced that they're selling their bank. They own the banks there. So they announced that they were selling the banks for $500 million. And then shortly after that, they owned the medical stuff in there also. They got sued, or they got caught not doing some billing right with Medicaid or something. Anyhow, they're getting hit for like $330 million on this medical thing that went bankrupt. So it's kind of funny that the bank sale happened right before the announcement of this other. It's almost like they had to sell the bank because they knew they was fixing to have to cover this. Which both of those are.
But that's just your speculation.
Just my speculation, yeah. I mean, you can go look and see these things did happen, and I'm just a grown man, and I've been around the block a time or two, and I've seen things happen, and I'm just saying, hey, if it happened at that golf course, it could happen at this, it's just a bigger scale, it is a business, and now the grandchildren have it, and it's several of them, so you're 2 or 3 generations from the guy that had the original vision, and they're more about the money, I think, now than the guy that started was in it for the money, I suppose, but he actually had a vision. He knew what he wanted to build for people, and he knew how nice he wanted it to be. And I think they've lost that. But anyhow, so where we're at right now, we have not ruled out buying over there, but with the things that are going on, the recent events and the prices that are dropping, and
I'm not in a hurry.
We're not in a hurry. We're going to watch for a little while. Yeah, we're going to watch for a little while. All right. So City by the Bay says, do you think people were happier before smartphones and social media?
I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to say it depends on your generation. And what I mean by that is, like our generation, we're older, we're in the Social Security group. We're drawing our Social Security already, and I like that. It's not a benefit. It's my money they took from me that I'm getting back. So, I think we're okay with it because we use it more as a tool. I do research on a lot of things with YouTube and Google, and now like the AI stuff, Chat GPT. I use it like that. I like being able to keep up with friends and family on Facebook, for example. But that's what we use it for as a whole. Our generation kind of uses it for that. So I don't think it's affected us like it has the younger generation. excuse me, the younger generation don't know what it's like to have been without all that stuff. And they are so dependent on it. You know, they're on it. On the gaming, you know, some of these people are so hooked on gaming they can't hold a job. Now, you got grown kids that, I say kids, 20s, 30s, whatever. They're so hooked on gaming, you know, they don't leave the house. They sit and game all day long. Their social experience is completely different than what we had. We had a social life when we came along because we didn't have all that stuff. And as it came about, we have not given up our social life with friends and stuff. We use it more as a tool to research. And, you know, there's friends and family that I keep up with on Facebook that without that, I probably would not have seen or talked to them. And some classmates, I haven't physically seen them in over 30 years. But we're friends on Facebook, and we'll say something every now and then, or even something little like they put a picture on from their vacation, whatever, and I'll hit the like button. You know, where they're at, they know I saw it, and they knew I gave a little, hey, I like that.
But back in the day when we didn't have that, it didn't matter.
I know. That's what I say. I like the fact that I've been able to kind of reconnect and keep up with people that without the internet, we wouldn't have been able to do. So to answer your question, I think for us, it's been a more of a good thing. For the younger generation that is so hooked on gaming and internet and all that junk, it's affected their ability to function. I think it's been bad for the younger generation. So that's what I mean by it depends on your age. What do y'all think?
Harry's agreeing with me.
So when you say, what has a phone done to make you unhappy? How does a phone make you unhappy?
Well, when you go out to eat and you look around and everybody's sitting there, everybody in the restaurant sitting there like this on their phone. There's no talking.
Right.
There's no socializing.
Right. But it's usually the younger generation. When you see people our age and older, it's not. I don't see. And we're not 80, but I don't see an 80-year-old sitting on the phone when we go out to eat. It's usually the younger generation. But that's all they know. We don't sit on our phones when we go out to eat.
I don't. I keep mine in my purse.
I'm getting more and more. I'll just leave mine in the car. I won't even take it in. We go to eat or something, I'll just leave it in the car. You know, we were out doing stuff today, and we went in a few places shopping or whatever. I just left it in the car. You know, and do I, scroll Facebook, and I play chess. I've got she can vouch for me. I've got a little chess game on mine, and I'll play chess. So a lot of times she goes shopping, I take her and let her go shopping. I'll sit out in the car, and I'll scroll Facebook or play chess or something. But if I feel like it, I just set it in the car and go in and shop with her.
I agree with you, City.
He self-isolates a lot. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The younger generation is so attached.
They don't even want to talk on the phone. They have to text.
Yeah, they text. They
won't
texting. Talk. And they sit and just play games all the time. They can't function without it. My phone doesn't ring a lot. I see you say, somebody says their phone rings. My phone doesn't ring a lot. And most time when my phone rings, it's spam. I got a few friends that'll call now and then, but my phone really doesn't ring an awful lot. And then now, most of the cars are set where you can push a button and you talk to them over the car, the speakers and stuff. I kind of like that. I've always been a little fascinated with all the technology. I found out today my dadgum seat in the car was giving me a massage. I didn't even know it. We took our car to the dealership today to have a little repair done to it. And we were talking with a lady that had her car there, having repairs done to hers, and we had the same type car. And she said something about the massage. She said, I just love that seat and that massage button. And I'm like, wait a minute, mine won't massage. She said, oh yeah, it should. I'm like, well, they didn't tell me about that. And she told me where the button was down on the seat. We've had the car, what now?
Since March. First of March.
Almost 6 months. They got through working on it. They brought it out. I went out there and looked, and sure enough, there's a button down there. So I pushed that button, that thing with the massaging my legs and my back. And I'm like, man, look at here. I didn't even know it did it. These cars are getting so complicated. It's hard to learn everything they'll do. I love all the self-driving stuff that's coming out. She don't want anything to do with it, but I like it. Our car do it pretty fair, It's good on the interstate. I can set it on the interstate and let her rip, tater chip. And I sit back and I monitor it. I'm not over here playing cards while my car's driving me. I monitor. But you
didn't say Facebook.
Yeah, I don't do Facebook.
I'm gonna take a picture.
All right.
I'll take a picture.
I was in aviation, so we had autopilot. So I'm used to letting an aircraft fly me around, but of course I had to monitor what it was doing and all that. So I do the same way in the car. I'll set up the little self-driving stuff and then I'll let it drive me around, but I monitor. Yeah, Miss PJ, I agree. It's different. It's new. People are trying to get used to it. But again, it goes back to what I did for my career. I was used to using autopilots in aircraft. I'm used to setting it up and letting the machine do its thing, and I'll just monitor. So I got no problem. I love all this new stuff that's coming out. All right, nobody sent us a pet of the week. Y'all got to send me some pets of the week. We like to do that.
I mean, nobody might not have a pet.
Yeah, they do.
They can't.
Coop and them's got some birds. They need to send me pictures of them birds so I can share them as pets of the week. So that's kind of things we were going to talk about tonight. Is talk a little bit about our vacation. We've got more videos coming. I wanted to talk some about the cruising and the difference in Carnival and MSC and different ones and what's going on with Carnival, and people are jumping ship, so to speak, going to different cruise lines. Ourselves included, we're going to take a closer look at MSC. And then I want to talk a little bit about the villages. So we've picked up a lot of subscribers from cruising and the villages. So I wanted to hit both of those. And I don't mean to insult anyone that lives in the villages. That's an awesome place over there. It really is. And they might not have the same opinion I've got about the different costs. They might think it's more than fair. All this week, birds hitting your windows.
The birds you aren't feeding anymore.
I know. I hadn't been. Well, I need to start.
Well,
I'm going to bring the bird feeder back probably pretty soon. As we move into winter, I'm going to bring the bird feeder back some. I haven't even been. Well, we've been gone. I might need to put some seed out there and see.
I know. Look at my fingernails. I had to take them off. Oh.
Yeah, she had to. I didn't even know she found it. How did you find out about it?
Because I know a lot of times when you have surgery, you have to take the fingernails off.
Yeah, but I've never heard that. I didn't even know that till you told me.
Well, I mean, You should
So the ladies, they go get the fake fingernails and they get that gel. And I don't even know what. I just pay for
can't
it.
take it off yourself. I had to go to have it taken off.
So
So I had to do that yesterday.
when they sedate you and put you under, they monitor your fingernails, the color,
But also they have
and yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
that thing they put on there. The
So
O2
you got
sensor.
the O2 sensor they put on one of your fingers. The fingernails could interfere with what it's picking up. But
And then they can't see, because if the fingernails start turning color, that's not
Right.
good.
that's a part of what they monitor to make sure you're getting enough oxygen and all that stuff. I never thought about that. So she had to go get those taken off today,
Yesterday. We've been gone all day today.
in preparation for this surgery. So she's having a surgery on her foot. It's not that it's not important, but it's not like I don't want y'all to think she's having some life-threatening surgery. She's having surgery on her foot. We appreciate all the prayers. So, hey, you can never have too much goodwill and prayer sent your way. So we'll take all of it y'all want to send our way. Neighbors been feeding them, but complex removed all bushes. And it was in front of one of my windows. Wow. Yeah, in front of your window, and then they see that reflection, especially if you have trees and stuff in the reflection. They think it, yeah, they will run into the window. Sometimes it's catastrophic. Sometimes it just knocks them cuckoo for a little while, and they get up and fly off a little while later.
If the cat don't get them before they come to.
Yeah, if the cat don't get them. But all right, well, we're back. Thank y'all so much for having coffee with us tonight. I hope y'all had coffee. Oh, we didn't see Karen's books. She normally has tea. She says she doesn't have coffee. She has tea. But maybe she'll be in here next time. We have enjoyed it. We've missed y'all. We're glad we're back. And we will try to do our Thursday evening coffee with the Huffs a little more regular now since we're home. And we moved it to 7 o'clock Central so as not to interfere with Mama Coop. She ends hers at 7 Central. So hopefully she'll be nice enough to send her people over when they finish. But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. We're going to end this one now. Hit the like button, subscribe button. And
Bedtime.
yeah, it's bedtime for us. We're getting old. We're glad to be back too, Miss PJ. We had fun, but home is home. I'm always glad to get back home. But usually after a couple of weeks at home, I'm ready to go again. But anyhow, we're back. Thank y'all for watching. We're glad y'all here, and we'll see y'all next time. And for now,